week is going to be a little bit of a mix of things. So I work on the driveway a little bit more. It's dried up a little bit, so I'm working on the driveway a little bit more. I work on my drainage ditch. I check up on the garden. I got some spring plants to plant, and so we get those in the ground. And I decided to make a gabion basket to start the trellis, so we give that a try. And of course, like always, we do a little bit with the dogs, and I remembered to record at team training, so we got a little bit of video of search dog training stuff. And if you're new here, a big part of this channel is that I just got 50 acres to build a homestead from scratch. And another big part of the channel is the search and rescue aspect and all the training and stuff that we do with the search and rescue dogs to make sure that they're ready to go when emergency calls. Let's get into it. These tulips and a bunch of other spring bulbs, like really cheap. So I know you're not supposed to plant them like this, but I thought we'd give it a try and see. They might not come up this year the rest of the way, but I just thought it was so cool. They were so pretty. I just want to get this whole area to be like pollination alley, like pollinator world. I just love seeing this in spring. It's so cool. Couldn't resist to look at the spring plants, and they had these figs, so I thought, well, they're a lot cheaper than I would buy them online, so let's see if they can make it over there. The tiny little flower in there. That's so cool. It's so pretty. Let's see. The hazelnuts are budding, so they survived a transplant. I'm not sure about this fig. It doesn't seem like it, but it is a little bit rubbery, so maybe it did. Let's see. This hazelnut is budding, which is awesome. This is the wisteria, and that's got a lot of buds on it as well. I can definitely see some trees that I lost. There's one of the new tulips that I just got in tonight. A lot of the irises are all poking through. So I guess we're just gonna have to see. Like, I don't think the willows made it. I was trying to do like a willow fence. I don't think those made it. I'm not sure that this did either. I can't remember what some of this was though. So I'll have to see and stuff, and we'll see. I gotta keep reminding myself that it's still early yet, and we're not gonna know until a while later. But it's just fun to go down through the row and go, oh, look how this is good. This is my big hazelnut. This one's doing okay. And this one surprised me because like this was just like a thing that kind of fell off, and I just planted it it fell off when I was moving them, and I just planted it, and it actually seems like it's gonna be okay, which surprises. But then you get like trees like this that are just, they really came through nicely, and I think they're starting to bud. I'm not sure. It looks kind of like the budding a little bit, so they definitely made it through nicely. And then this is, you can see the little cedium. I think that's how I say it, but that's starting to come in. And I was seeing some of the other stuff that I planted underneath the trees last year come in. So it's just, I love spring. It's just like so cool to just see everything coming. I mean, some things are worse for wear, but I mean, everything had a really hard move at the end of last year, so I guess we'll just have to, I gotta really, hopefully tomorrow I'll get some of these trees staked, but it's just so cool to see them. And so my plan here is that this front row is gonna be all pollinator kind of stuff, and then I'll put the fruit trees as like the first layer, and I'll mix them with some flowering trees. I ordered a whole bunch of stuff the other day, so we'll see when that comes in. I'll see how that goes. But then here's bushes. So I've got my bush rose. This is a bigger bush rose that came up, and then this is there's some bush cherries, and then I gotta see, where did they go? I came down here. There's some more of the bush cherries. I don't know that all of them made it, but at least one or two here look like they're okay. And then here's another bush cherry. I don't know that this one might not have made it. I guess we'll see. I'm so excited. I just gotta stop waiting, and I gotta just wait and see. But I'm like so curious to try to figure out like what's okay and what's not. And then here's the new figs that we just planted today. And then way down there, if you can see, that's the raspberries. And I kept them really far away, so I have plenty of room because I want to maybe move the raspberry, like my black raspberries, down a little bit. And you have to keep them very far away from the red raspberries, is what I've already read. So at the other house, there was no good way to do that. So, but here I've got lots of room, and I still have lots of room down there to go. So this is going to be really good. It's so exciting. Blueberries I've struggled with a lot. Even though I mend the soil and everything, when I plant them in like the ground itself, they never do well. But I've had a lot better success in the raised bed where I can completely control everything. So that's what I do. I do all the amendments and stuff because you have to get it very acidic, and it doesn't grow well here in the ground. But I do all the amendments and everything in the raised bed, and so I gotta put some dirt and stuff in here. I've just been little by little getting some stuff to decompose underneath the dirt, but I gotta get the actual soil in here now and get these guys planted today. All right. So let's see what we got. The light's not the best today at the end of the day. So I'm just gonna try to spread out the roots there a little bit. And then put in the little sign. I got a little bit, everybody's a little bit different. So I figured I'll see which ones do the best. If I can get these out. There we go. Let's see which ones do the best. See which blueberries do the best in this. Let's grab the other bag of soil. Here's the soil. And I'm just honestly using fairly cheap stuff because I'm gonna do a lot of amendments and mix it with a lot of stuff. So I'm really horrified at the price of just plain dirt at the store. It's like you can't just buy decent dirt anymore. But get this covered in. Get this guy. Okay, here we go. The next one. Pull a few in here. There we go. Just don't want to introduce weeds via leaves. I think that's okay. There we go. Alright, I gotta grab the next bag of soil. Okay. Last bag. There we go. Okay, nice load of mature wood chips. They've been sitting at my other property for over a year. So giving the new blueberries a little bit of cover today. Hopefully they do okay, because I planted them last night and then today's turning nasty. So, but they were outside at the store too. So I guess either way they're either gonna make it or they're not gonna make it. But they're all planted. They've got soil acidifier in them, and now they've got a nice layer of wood chips on top. So hopefully they can get established, and then I'll keep filling in the bed around them with more soil and stuff. I like putting in the sticks in the bottom. It's a nice filler. I always start with cardboard to stop whatever's from underneath. And then the cardboard kind of melts down over, like it kind of works into the ground over the next few months. And then I like to start with a base layer of stick on top of the cardboard, and because it kind of, as it breaks down underneath the soil, it's gonna keep feeding. And it's a little bit tough to do in these smaller raised beds. That's where it's nicer to have like the bigger raised bed, the taller raised bed, because you don't have much room before you run out of room. But I do still try to put at least a little bit. And one of the lessons learned I had was just making sure that they go all the same way. In my other property, when I had these set up, I had the sticks going every which way, and then it was like really hard to plant and really hard to do things. So just a little bit of sticks in the bottom, and then like you can see here, I'll have a little bit of sticks, and then I just plant on top, and I just put all the dirt and stuff on top, and then that way, as the sticks disintegrate, they help feed the soil a little bit. And then I like to keep wood chips and stuff on top too, but you got to be careful with wood chips, because if they're not older, then they're gonna cause more harm than good. So you have to let them compost down for a while before you can use them. So and I am hoping to get chip drop up here and get a lot of wood chips. I want to kind of do back to Eden garden type method and just have lots of wood chips and stuff. But for right now, I can bring over a few bucketfuls of the stuff I have sitting at the other house, and we'll just keep filling in as I plant. And then when I get the fresh stuff, we'll get it composted, and I'll probably use that for the pathways to start with, and then as it matures, then I can move it into the beds and stuff, and use it in my compost and stuff. And then the white bins are just for my worm stuff. I put in like just different kitchen straps and stuff. I don't actually have any worms in them yet. I've been holding off because I didn't want them to get killed over the winter, because it does get cold and stuff up here. So I wanted to get them all. I wanted to get the garden bed completely planted and completely filled with soil. And then once it's all full of soil and the worms will have a better chance, then I can fill in with the worms and stuff. But I do have a bucket of worms at the other property that's staying warm, so hopefully when I go back into them, they'll be okay. They've been munching on garden scraps or kitchen scraps for a while. So but yeah, I'm still anxiously awaiting. Hopefully some of these other plants start showing signs of life. I don't know, but we'll see how things go here. It's still really early spring, so we got a ways to go, and today is not nice weather, but it's getting icky, and it's supposed to rain and maybe even snow later today. So just trying to get as much done as I can before the weather turns again. Well, this looks like so much drier, but unfortunately I didn't get up here early today, and it's gonna rain tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll be able to get anything done. But I might be able to get working on this first part of the driveway. Maybe. It looks like it's drier. There's still a lot of wet everywhere. In the back here, you can see the water's still back here, but up front here it looks a lot better. And at least right now though, it's like before it was like really ruddy and like really bad, but now it's at least like with what I'm doing right now, it's at least straightening up a little bit. So hopefully, it just feels like I'm hardly digging in though now. So I don't know. It's so hard to do this. Well, I don't know if you can see, but at least it looks like that time I got a bunch up with I put the thing down a little further. So got a bunch up that time. So I guess this is just what you do. You just go back and forth, and you just let it dig, and then you pull off the dirt that it's gotten, and you just keep doing, I think. Hopefully this is the right way to do it. Okay, so put the scraper back up when I went backwards, and then I'm going to put it back down, and then we'll do that again and see how much more we can get off. It's time consuming. Like, I don't know, it's not quite what I expected. I thought it would just go boom boom, but it's not. I don't know what it is. Like, every so often the bucket just goes like up and over whatever I'm trying to pick up instead of actually like picking it up. Well, it keeps jamming up. But so maybe, I mean, it doesn't seem, it's not anywhere near as wet as it was the other day, but maybe it's still too wet. I don't know. I can't seem to make heads or tails of how to get this dug out with it. I thought it would be like obvious. They just said go back and forth with the tractor and it would do it, but it doesn't seem to be doing it. There we go. It's not great, but I do see progress. It's not, this time when I've been trying it, it's not so ready. You can see where it was scraping, the scraper pieces were scraping it. Or I guess, yeah, I think it's the scraper piece because you do the claw things. But it's digging it down a little. I've been making some piles, but it's just so much better. Because here's kind of what it was like. You can see all the big ruts in this section. And here's where I was working today, where it's just more even. It's not so ready, and I'm able to even now coming back, like I was having trouble picking up some stuff with the tractor, but I can pick out pieces and stuff and put it in my pile and stuff until I get better at the tractor. But it's getting a little bit down. That's good. Progress is good. I'm making some progress on digging today, a lot more than I have been. Even got down to the lower level here in one spot, but I guess I just have to keep doing it little by little. And we're getting there. I mean, I guess it's just gonna take a lot. But I got all of that removed from just this little section right here. So that's like really awesome progress, even though, I don't know, I really just want to get it so I could get the first batch of rock in. But I gotta get it down more and wider first. So I guess I'm gonna have to see if I can come up in the evenings this week and see what I can get done. But it's definitely making progress. It keeps sticking though. It does keep sticking in the claws there. But I have to keep picking it out. But yeah, it's getting there. Go step by step. Checking on my little drainage that I was working on last week. You can see I had this all like completely wrapped up, and now the pipe is up, and the staple that I had right here has come undone. So I guess the wind was really rip-roaring, but it still looks like it's working. That's still in there, which is, the water's still pooling at the end and it's still okay in the middle, so I think it's still working. I just gotta haul rock and get back up here and move it around the corner and get it pushed out away from the shed or the carport or whatever it is. Okay, I was a little tired today, so I didn't haul a ton of rock, but I just hauled a couple buckets, but it let me kind of make this corner a little bit, so I think it's gonna work. I need to play a little bit more and get the angle just right, but it definitely came around the corner, so it looks like the pipe will flex like that, so that's all good signs. Yay! So I still got to get all the way down this side and then all the way around the other side and the front side, so this whole thing is a very tiny amount, but it does look like it's working. Like the water keeps draining down, so hopefully, I don't want to cover anything up until I get it all done and make sure that it's all draining properly and stuff, but it's a good start, so it's exciting. Been a lot of work though. It's not used to all this physical labor that starting a homestead means. Good girl! Who's your good girl? You're such a good girl. You a good girl. You a good doggy. So I had this idea to use the to kind of like the gabion cage where you put like all the rocks and stuff. And I was thinking that if I make a nice good strong one, then I should be able to use those as like the base of the trellis. And then that way I don't have to dig in, have concrete and stuff in, and I don't have to worry about like wood going bad or anything. So I'm gonna give it a try. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. So my thought is that I should start the base of the gabion cage under the ground a little bit better structure and support. So this will be the first one, and it's gonna go hopefully help my what is that? Kiwi. So, and then I've got a whole row of vines. So I'm digging the driveway, I keep finding rocks. So I thought if I got this put together, then I could just put them right in here and put them to a good productive use. Well, it looks like it's kind of working. It's getting its shape a little bit. I'm letting a few of the flatter ones kind of come half in, half out so that I can stabilize it a little more, but it looks cool. That was where my compost bin was supposed to be. It keeps flying. It's way over here in the woods today, so we're gonna have to try to figure out how to tie it down. Okay, good. There's some holes on it, so I'm just gonna string some parachute cord and then put it down into the spikes. I thought I had scissors up here, but I can't find them, so hopefully that saw will work at least to cut the string. So let's get it tied down. It's just fraying it. It's not closing it. It's not sealing it. Let's see if I can find the scissors. Plan B. There's no scissors. Wire cutters don't work. So we are bringing it in, and then I'll have to get scissors up here. And then once I get scissors up, I can work on tying it down because it's already blown twice. So, and we're about to have another storm, so I don't want to risk it. What you like? There you go. Hey, that's quick. Ready? Ah! Hanging out, waiting for a search dog to come find me.
Awesome. Nice and unpacked. Stay focused. Very good.
Good boy. Good job, baby girl. Good chicken. Come here. Go back, check. Good dog. Good. Yay. Good girl. Come on, sweetie. Good girl.